Well, I'm getting there, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, I just try to do too much, but I think that's better. At least it keeps my mind occupied. I think if I sit around with nothing to do, man, I start feeling sorry for myself, and my mind starts going down rabbit holes, and I get in trouble. So to me, it's always trying to do something and go forward and think of things that are exciting to do, so I don't go into these spirals or whatever that we all get at one time or another. There's still a lot of new programs coming up all the time. And that's what, oh, first of all, I want to make sure that if you're a member of Let's Go Help, what you have to do is get a copy of your, what we call the Let's Go Meta Grant Report. This is probably, oh, my halo is not on. Let me see if I can get my halo on, okay? See, what's a salesman without a halo? So anyway, you got to download that report. It's for every member. We don't sell it separately, and so it's remember. I mean, that to me is worth it because it's something you could use forever. I mean, you just don't have to worry about where to get money for anything because it's all there. And then also, if you download your 500 mini grant reports for every state, then you have really the complete library, sort of like the Bible, the grant Bible for all the sources to cover any aspect of your life. You know, whatever you're trying to do in life, at any stage of life, you know, you got to pay for mom and dad's care or whatever, or you got fired and you want to get a new career, or you got to get a new house. And the program, basically, they come and go quickly, but the people who give programs are basically the same. And that's what we do, is we show you where to go that in your state, in your county, that are most likely to have money and help for you to solve your problem. You know, and that's it. Otherwise, you're not going to find it in Google, because Google is just trying to sell you something. It's going to be organizations that want to get money from you, not give money to you. So that's what you have to do. And we have to start training more and more of America about what our country is all about. And instead of, you know, just leaving it to businesses trying to make money off you people. I mean, that'd be fine, but you have an option. And if you didn't have that option, and what I don't think is right is that people don't know their options, so they think their only way to solve a financial problem is spending money with it. And that's because we live with marketing and Google and things like that. Everything's telling you how you have to spend money to solve a problem. And that is not right, at least in our country. If we change the system, then it may be right. But from what I see now, because of government and nonprofit organizations, they're your options. They're your way out of any financial problem you have. But you have to learn how to use them and where they are and what they're called and how they're different than a business that's trying to help you. So this is a different animal, and you have to learn how to use this animal, or it's going to wash right over you, and you won't be involved, and you'll still be pissed off because you can't do what you want. You can't solve that financial problem, and that's why I'm so. Oh gosh, I'm so happy and grateful of Let's Go Help that I started by accident a couple of years ago, and that seems to be attacking it the way I think it should be attacked, because people are helping people. This is what it's all about. It's showing how really to get out of problems we have in life is really to have other people help us do that. And other people that are not charging you money. Now, I know I have to charge you money to stay in business. But the people we have, they're all volunteers that are helping. Like today, we have 3 or 4 hours of people that will be available for free to answer your questions. And the people who are available are people like you who didn't know how to do this just a couple of weeks ago or months ago and find out about it and been successful. So they share with you their experience on how they got this money, be able to, you know, right their wrong in life and whatever. And that is just, that's where help is. It's not in Google where people want to get money from you to help your problems. And if you have money, that's fine. but I'm after the people who are not wealthy and can't afford to do what they want to do because they don't have the money. Well, you have to get that out of your head because there are options for that. But you have to be a little creative, and it's not the way you think it should be. See, that's another thing. Everybody, well, the government should be this way, and I should just be able to fill out an application and get the money. No, it's not going to be that way. And that's important that you realize that, so you learn how to use the system. Invite, go live. Okay, just followed you. Thank you. But it is only because you live in America that you have all this stuff. Other people don't. I don't think there's a whole lot of other countries that have as much as we have here. I mean, they're more. I think they have. The Scandinavian companies are really have more of these kind of benefits than we do, fortunately or unfortunately. But there are programs here the government gives out. I tell you this all the time. $35,000 per family every year in these benefits. So please help them. Now, I found a couple of new things I want to talk about because they happen all the time. Here's an article here in Washington, D.C. Now, this is what's happening. Now, I don't know if you know about Washington, D.C. and other places where we have a lot of empty office space, okay, because people aren't working, people aren't going in the office to work anymore. So we built up these downtowns with all this empty office space, and they're empty, and the government can't collect rent, from these people or pay taxes because they're empty. So what they're doing now, and Washington, D.C. is one of the cities, and it happened all over, they're taking that office building and turning it into housing, okay? Now, when the government does something like this, that means there's a money opportunity. And that's what happened in D.C. and other places. They're giving grant money to help people who are in the real estate business take this office space and make housing out of it, and they get tax relief and everything. So there's grants and everything to help you be a real estate investor. So maybe you can't afford it all yourself, and find other people that will do it with you, or find somebody, or help other people that do it. Whatever, this is going to be a growth area. That's what you want to do, is look for the things that are growing. You don't want to, get in the business of horse and buggies, right? You look what's growing, and you get in the beginning of that, and that takes care of you for a long time. Then it'll change sometime, but that's fine. You want to be it's sort of like riding the waves in the ocean. You want to be in the beginning of the wave, not at the end of the wave when it's going back out to sea, and you can't ride it on into the beach anymore. So how do you do that? It's pretty easy. You get help. You get help on how to be a real estate investor. Okay, how do you do that? Two things. One place I think is one of the best places is Meetup, MEETUP.com, meetup.com. Now that's where you could learn how to be a real estate investor from other real estate investors. See, they all join these organizations that are free, and they share ideas about how to do these things. Okay, so you go in and cost nothing, you go to the meetings and learn from other people how to do this. So you don't have to take a Trump University course that was getting $30,000 for this, and they had to give the money back. No, you can get that for free and learn from people near you who are doing it, and learn how to do it. You can do that the same for starting a business. There'll be groups in meetup.org or that's a .com. It used to be a .org, but it changed to .com. But they don't charge money. And they're just it's like a bowling league or something like that. Much love to you both. Thank you, Judy. And you have a beautiful, determined mind. You help many so much. Oh, thank you. It's nice to know. I think really, I want to know that everybody should try to love each other. I mean, that's why if you get mean, let's go help. We want nothing to do with you. And we're going to give you all the money back and send you on your way. It's just not worth it. Maybe because I'm an old fart or whatever. But yeah, I wish I did this earlier and just hang around people who are loving. Okay, this is it. They're taking this old building and doing the housing right downtown. And actually, when they give that housing, a lot of it is going to be for low-income people. They have to set aside like 10%, 20% for people with low income to be able to afford it. So they're going to be a two-tier operation for something like that. So that's it. More folks about where else are we at? Oh, here's now this is another incredible program. Biden has $1.7 trillion he's given all around the country to people to set up new factories that do things in technology, factories that make electric vehicles, all this kind of stuff of the future. So the government is investing for you to have a great job, because these factories, because they're not like steel mill factories where you just need nothing but muscle, you need brain power, because you're making little widgets, not a car. You're making computer chips. So you need to get trained. And what Biden does is put training money in there. They have a lot of training money for you with no skill to get trained and get onto a pathway for a $100,000 a year job. It's going to take some training in the beginning. They're giving money to the companies to train you, so you get these $100,000 a year jobs. And so it may take you a few weeks, months, or whatever to get the skills and training, and you could get paid while you're doing that. See, that's a cool thing. So the 8 states now have this kind of money that they're growing these factors, and they're starting out. So they're going. How do you find this where you are? The best place is go to your. I'm trying to read something. Somebody sent me here. I can't read. To go to Career One Stop, careeronestop.org. And you go to that office, it's a county office, and say you're looking for these new manufacturing jobs and training for it. Now you could just call and say you want to be trained because you need to make more money. That's what they're there for. But you have to make the effort yourself to make sure that you know where it is and follow it up. Because sometimes you get in the bureaucratic nonsense and it goes nowhere. You can't say, well, they don't have anything for me. No, that's just a way to give up. So when they don't have anything for me, you have to go somewhere else. And another place is your local community college. Now it's getting lots and lots of grant money to take you to train you for almost anything, to be a carpenter and make 60, 70, 80 grand a year or whatever. HVAC technician, or driving a truck, they'll train you for free. All this kind of stuff that you could get a skill that gets a decent salary. And that's what you need, and that's what we have in this country. But people don't realize it, so they're not using it. Here it says here, yes, this money comes before they can receive the money. These companies must negotiate agreements with the Department of Energy that will obligate them to meet investment and employment targets, and to provide workers with benefits like training, childcare, and pensions. Okay, see, all these great jobs are great benefit jobs. And that's what America used to be. and it slipped out of there for them. The funds will preserve, just in this 1.7, 15,000 jobs, okay? That's what they're getting out of this thing. To qualify for the money, companies had to commit to training their existing workers. Employees of all the factories chosen are represented by unions. See, that's another thing. We don't have unions anymore to take care of. We have investors' unions, not workers' unions. So everybody's worried about the investors and not the workers. There's another thing happening. Where is the? Here's the article on the IRS. In the Inflation Reduction Act, that's like 2 years ago Biden passed. In that was money for the IRS to get millionaires to pay their taxes. Millionaires are skating around without paying their taxes because the IRS doesn't have people to go after them and get them to pay, okay? And so what the Inflation Reduction Act gave the IRS money to go after these people. Well, so far, like in the first year, they got $1 billion from unpaid taxes by millionaires. So you have millionaires that are skating into society and not even paying their taxes. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if how do you look each other in the eye when you go to church or whatever? Man, you're fucking over your neighbors when you do that. If you're not paying your taxes, you think it's only you and you hate the government or something, but really what's happening, somebody has to pay for the other stuff. Somebody has to pay for the military or whatever. And if you're not paying your share, then I don't think that's fair. Do you? The IRS also focused on finding more than 100,000 high wealth individuals who the agency believes had not failed taxes in years. So we got 100,000 people for years and years have not paid taxes. And they have been ramping up audits of the hedge funds and real estate investor partnerships and cracking down on the abuse of corporate jets for personal travel. So nobody's got a personal jet. They're all corporate jets, written off by the IRS like that, see? And there's no such thing as a private jet. It's crazy. You have to pay after taxes and then buy that jet. No, if you say it's a company jet, you pay it, then you pay taxes. You don't have any more money to pay taxes on because you just bought your jet. You don't care. You got a jet. The government, though, didn't get their share. Wait, let me take that back. Not all millionaires do this. Just unfortunately, a lot of. You're right, Amber. You can't say all for everything. Yeah, but that's where the problem, or one of the problems, lays. So that's why at least people are going after them. But what's interesting, there are programs for low to middle income to get their taxes forgiven. Now that's cool, isn't it? You get your taxes forgiven. And the IRS has programs like that. Okay, let me tell you, okay, if you're a member, I'm gonna put all these links in the Let's Go Help here. Okay, let me go in the chat and put these links to all the items I'm talking about and how to get your IRS taxes forgiven. Okay, there's a number of ways that happens, okay? Let me get that and go over that. Okay, they have a program. First of all, you could get free help with your taxes. And they boosted that up too. A lot more people are helping one-on-one. And this is a good time to do it because, you know, it's not the height of tax season. And you can make an office. You go to IRS and put office locator. And then make an appointment, a live appointment to go over any questions you have about the IRS. Don't call H&R Block. They're going to charge you $300 for saying hello. You get this done for free, okay? Okay, now they have another program called Tax Relief Because of Tough Times. How do you like tax relief because of tough times? Right, you get it forgiven, you know, because of tough times. You don't have it. See, and if you do nothing about it, if you go and contact them, then they're going to beat on you, thinking that you're hiding or whatever. But if you don't hide, then you take advantage of the programs and don't accumulate the money, extra money you owe because you were hiding and things like that. So that's, you know, you want to find out about that program. And what you do with that is the taxpayeradvocate.irs.gov. taxpayeradvocate.irs.gov, okay? So that's one program. Here's another program they have. It's called Offer in Compromise. And this is one of our great navigators. She got 90% of her taxes forgiven, you know? And she's also one of our navigators, so you'll see her popping up. Her name is Tula. But here's the program she used. She did it all by herself. It doesn't take a mental giant to do this. You go to irs.gov and look for Offer in Compromise. Offer in Compromise, okay? So that's two programs right there. You know, not paying your taxes because of tough times, and they have a program for that. Get you out of that, you know, debt problem you have. Or the Offer in Compromise. You pay up to only 10% of your of what you owe. Okay, now there's a third program. It's called Low Income Taxpayer Clinics. And these are lawyers, usually at university or things like that, that get paid by the IRS to help you with your tax problem for free. It's called low income taxpayer clinics. Okay, there's a listing of that on irs.gov. Low income taxpayer clinic. What you do is you go to that website, put in your zip code or whatever, find the office near you, you call them and see if they could help you, okay? And what they do. And they usually say, well, you can't owe hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think they like to do around $50,000. So if you have a $50,000 bill with the taxes, then you can get these lawyers free to make sure maybe you get rid of that, okay? It's a complicated system. So it's best to get the help. And if it's free, then that's cool. I think I just lost something here. Okay, no. So that's it. I'm gonna put the link in YouTube after I finish this, all the links I talked about. You know, the tax forgiveness and the factory jobs and the real estate grants and all that stuff is there. God, I'm running on the gas. I don't know why. I think I exercised too heavy today. and I walked for about 4 or 5 miles, and then I did the step stuff for probably about 40 minutes. And then I did weights. Now I'm getting like Joe Biden. They're gonna start talking funny. Us old guys have that tendency. Things slip out of the head. So make sure too, you remember, you want to get a copy of the Lesko Meta Grant Report. That gives you a full encyclopedia of all the programs that are available where you live. And for every series, I mean, whether you're looking for a car repair or traveling or vacation, anything you want. And then the other thing is to download our 500 mini grant report, okay? And that's all free for member help, Lesko Help members. So that's a Lesko Meta Grant Report and the 500 mini grant report for your state. You can actually download all the states, share them with people, whatever, I don't care. I want everybody to know this stuff, okay? So let me go and see why I'm losing gas here. Okay, so I'll talk to you soon, guys. Thank you so much.